Hi, welcome to the Healthy Athletes program. This program was designed for your athletes to achieve optimal performance and health. It's a 12-week program. The first week you're going to do pre-tests, and then there's 10 weeks of lessons, and then the 12th week is post-tests. So for this program, you're going to receive a box that looks like this, and a folder that looks like this. So I'm just going to quickly go through the box and the folder and show you what's going to be in it and how they'll be used. So in the box, the first thing you'll see is this bag. It has the materials that you're going to need for an activity that you do during Lesson 4, which I'll talk about when I talk about Lesson 4. Then you're going to have some pre-tests and post-tests. They're the same tests, and you'll give these at week 1 and 12, as I mentioned. You're going to have all of the worksheets for all the different lessons. And then you have all the materials that you'll need for some service learning credit opportunities that I'm going to discuss also. So that's everything in your box. And then in the green folder, you'll find the staff reference guide. So this is going to be your curriculum for the whole program. So every page coincides with one workshop. So for page 1, that'll be lesson 1, page 2, lesson 2, and so on. There's 10 pages for the 10 lessons. And then the back, this has key messages that you'll want to try to go over as often as possible if you want to go over every lesson, every other lesson, but it just has some really important key messages for the students that, and you want to encourage them to share this with family, friends, people in their community. They're just good lessons for everyone to live a healthy lifestyle. Then you will find your teacher manual. This is going to have all the lesson plans, also the worksheets and answer keys, and the service learning credit, and I'll go over that a little more in detail in just a minute. Our curriculum is based on the USDA's MyPlate. So here you have a What's on Your Plate mini poster. You can use this with all of the workshops it acts as a good visual for the students to see, what they want to try to aim for their plate to look like. The back shows all the different food groups and talks about what types of food are in those food groups, how much they should be eating from each food group. And then the sidebars have just some good tips on healthy eating. So you want to use that at each of the workshops. Then you have a packet of 10 sign-in sheets, so you'll use one per workshop. Make sure that everyone signs in and puts whether they're male or female. And then you have some materials for the poster contest also, which I'll go over. That's one of the service learning credit options. And the last thing in your folder is going to be a video. So this disc has a video per lesson plan. So for example, before lesson 1, you're going to want to watch the video for lesson 1. It's just going to tell you, how to kind of plan out the lesson, how it should go, some extra tips on what you can talk about and do during the lesson. So that's everything in your folder, and I'm just going to briefly talk a little bit about what's in your teacher's manual. So you have your table of contents. Then the first page, it talks about the pre-tests and post-tests. So these are incredibly important for us to be able to assess the effectiveness of the Healthy Athletes program. So at the first lesson, you're going to hand out one of the food behavior checklists and one of the knowledge tests to each student. And make sure to tell them to put their name, put the school that they're at, and if there's more than one Healthy Athletes program going on at your school, make sure that they identify, which program they're in. So the food behavior checklist has 4 different pages, so you want to make sure that they open it up and fill it out completely, answer all 16 of the questions. And then the nutrition knowledge test has 12 different questions, so make sure they fill all those out and put their name and information as well. So they'll fill that out completely at the first lesson, and then you'll turn those in to SOS Mentor. And then you have another packet. They're the exact same test for the post-test, and they'll do the same thing for the post-tests. Then in your teacher manual, each lesson has a lesson plan. So make sure you read through this before the lesson, familiarize yourself with this, also the curriculum for that day, as well as the worksheets for that day. So every lesson has a different worksheet. So for instance, the first one is build your plate. So here you have the worksheet, also you have an answer key. So each worksheet has an answer key in here. So the last 3 pages of your teacher manual talk about service learning credit. So your students are going to have the opportunity to choose from one of 2 activities to get service learning credit. So the first thing they can do is what we call educating your community. So each student will get a form that looks like this. It's called Educating Your Community. And then you're going to give each student also this What's on Your Plate handout, the same one you've been using. So there's a packet of them in the box. So you'll hand one of each to the students. What they're going to do with these is go home, go out into their community. They're going to teach 5 different people. It can be family members, friends, whoever. Some things that they learned through the Healthy Athletes program. And then they'll ask the 3 questions listed on this form to the people that they taught the information to. And then they're going to write down their answers in the lines provided. And then each of the 5 people that they teach the information to is going to sign it and date it and say what their relation is to the student. So they'll then turn this in at lesson 10 in order to get credit. Or if you want to collect it the week after lesson 10, that's also good. So maybe when they take the post-test would be a good time. So that's the first opportunity for service learning credit. The second one is the Healthy Schools Campaign Poster Contest. So what this is a district-wide poster contest that is throughout all of LAUSD. So what the students will do is in the box, there's 5 different packets of these poster contest flyers. And then there's also poster contest entry forms. So they're going to spread the word throughout the school that this poster contest is going on. So they can go to different classrooms, specifically art classrooms would be a good option, or whoever they think might be interested in making a poster. And they're going to explain all the rules, which they can find on this flyer. Explain the rules to the students and let them know when the posters are due by, and hand out the flyers. And on the back of each flyer is a whole bunch of healthy messages that students can use to create their poster. And each poster has to have a nutrition message and physical activity message tied in. So they'll explain how it works, and then any student who creates a poster needs to turn in this poster contest entry form with their poster. It's kind of similar to the Educating Your Community form, where they're going to go home, talk to their parents about the healthy messages that are on the back of this flyer, and then together with their family they're going to fill out the questions and then fill out their information below, and this needs to be turned in with their poster. So then what you'll do is inside your folder, you will find a timeline for the poster contest. So what you'll do is follow that. Make sure that the students turn in their posters when they're supposed to, and then within the school you can do it with some other coaches or with the school nurse, anyone you want. But you're going to pick the top winning poster from your school. And then that poster gets turned in to another place, and there's different addresses listed, so you'll find which one pertains to you. So you'll turn it into that address by the date listed on the timeline. So make sure you look at this timeline to make sure everything gets turned in on time. So those are the 2 options in order to get service learning credit, and that should be everything you need for the Healthy Athletes program. Make sure you watch each video before each lesson. Thanks, and have fun.